Hey besties, hey friends, how are you? How have you been? It's just been a while. I stepped away from content creation because life got heavy emotionally, financially, and spiritually. Like I was burned out, drowning in a lot of things and carrying a lot of, I don't know if I can call it shame or something, but yeah, been going through a lot. Sometimes you go through life and you're not even able to sit down and face the camera or face your friends or even be grateful for the smallest things because of what you're currently going through. And I don't like praising the devil, but he's a liar. He'll put a lot of fear, bring the shame right in front of your eyes, and then he'll just show you how everything is hitting the wall. And then slowly you go to a rock bottom. But today I'm choosing to show up imperfectly and honestly. This is me starting again, like sharing from my mess, not from my peak or my mountaintop. So if you're navigating shame, survival mode, or feeling like you've lost yourself, this space is for you. I don't have all the answers, but I'm here to rebuild, heal, and create again, one day at a time. Honestly, guys, I love creating videos, creating content. I don't even like being it really makes me happy being in front of a camera, but it has not been easy, Yeah, you don't have the confidence, like zero confidence, but again, whatever gives you life is what you gotta do. Okay? Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Whatever is giving you life, just go and do that, because the work of the devil came to destroy, like to kill. The devil wants to leave you dead. So it's good you give yourself the grace, and then you just awake and say, I'm doing this and I'm not doing this, or I'm doing this and I'm not doing the other, and I'm choosing this way. Okay? Yeah, so that's it. One of the things that I've gone through a lot is the fact that just recognizing and accepting, like I had a season where I was going like through depression, and I realized the need of internal healing and also just having an external income growth, because even the Bible says that money answers many things, right? Yeah, money answers many things. So actually, something that has been disturbing me for the longest time, like I said in my previous video, the one I think I posted it yesterday. Yeah, I personally usually say, like, I quit my job, but this is what actually happened. I woke up one day and I could not shower, I could not dress up, going to work. So when I came and I was a bit low, I had to go through therapy, through sessions, and nowadays we have a therapist called ChatGPT. So I sat down and I just wanted to know exactly what I went through, because me not being a psychologist, like I could not understand what I was going through and what was really bothering, because to the people surrounding me, they looked at me like I just woke up one day and quit my career. I didn't want to work. Now I want to be a beggar, like I want to be a burden to people I didn't want to work. But honestly, I've come to understand what really went through the issues I was going through. One thing I went through, I had a burnout. I got a transfer from the school I was in. I went to another one. For one reason or another, we were not just agreeing with the principal of that school, and it was very chaotic. So I always believed, and even today I'm a very good teacher. I nowadays I do freelance teaching, tutoring online and all that. Yeah, and I just love teaching because I used to see results even in the classes I was in, and something I poured out into my students and I gave my all. So coming to a new station where someone thinks you're trash, you're not good enough, like you're not giving your best. I remember one day she would say, Chris is never at work, and I was like, wow. I always clock in time and I leave in or after time and all that, and it really hurt me that I was showing up, giving up my best, because I was going through a lot. I just given birth to my second born, and throughout my pregnancy I went through a lot, by the way. So I wanted an environment where I could heal and all that, and I was not getting that. You get? So I wanted to find out. So I did therapy, and therapy is expensive everywhere. Like you could pay 3,000 per hour, 5,000 per hour, but it was a price I was willing to have so that I can gain my sanity. So some of the things I went through, number one, it was burnout, and I went through emotional trauma. Like, just the fact that I left my teaching job the way I did, like I just woke up and I could not do it. So I wanted to know why did I do that? What happened? Yeah. So all of the things, like I was going through workplace stress and unresolved conflicts, especially with the administration, because I could not understand. And I got to a point where I could meet her and I could not talk to her. I could see her coming this way and I go the other. And mark you guys, I love God, I'm saved and all that. And that is not how we should do when you're born again. But I got to that point, like I could not stand my administrator. Also, I was in some debt and I had a lot of financial pressure. So some kind of motivation was not there. And also, because of what I went through, the job and everything, then I went through some shame, and at some points I felt like I had lost control of my life. And I've been that girly, like I've been in charge, like I have never lost control. I've been holding, but at this point, guys, I completely lost control of my life. I could not determine if I can go to work or not. Like my mind and body just hit a burnout wall. Yeah, like my system just refused to push any further. Honestly, it was not laziness. It's not that I don't like work. I really like work. Actually, I'm those people, when I get work, I do it with all of my heart. Like I will give it my best. Even in my branding business, when I get that order, I rarely sleep before I process it, if it can be done in a day. Yeah, so it's not laziness, but basically in my workplace, I was just surviving, working to get that moolah, Yeah, so that point I got into some depression, and I got to an identity crisis, especially after I left job. So sometimes I know I should have resigned and everything, but I didn't do that. I just hit my mind and body, just refused, and I could not. So for those of my friends who are watching or listening, and I didn't do it intentionally, but I could not take it anymore. My body, like even my strength, I remember I went for the last staff meeting, and I did not tell anyone I'm not coming, opening for the third term. I didn't know, but I couldn't. And then my partner was like, then wake up and go to work. I was like, I cannot. Then I put some effort. I went to the county director and I told him, you see, I cannot work. That environment is too toxic for me. And then he was like, go to work and then we can talk about it. I was like, I cannot even gather the strength to go back to the place. So that's exactly what happened. So I'm not the kind of girl who just wake up and not go to work. But I think there were so many issues which built up, and I had not solved them. A lot of issues behind the back, and others which happened, and I thought I was strong enough for them, but I was not. So I lost motivation. After some time, I felt like I was not worthy. Then now I could withdraw from structured work. When I left, I did online work, tutoring for some time. Yeah, so that gave me structure and hope, and I had some source of income. Yeah, but after some time, the platform I was working in, I could not work there anymore. So now I was not having that structured work that I could work, like with a schedule. And so now I struggle to rebuild, but I always created content. I write online, even up to today. And at that time, I used that time to learn skills. Now, such that now I can design websites, I can do some graphic work, and I do branding and all that. My problem was that I was struggling to rebuild after a setback. So, my identity for 10 years being a teacher was lost within a second. It's not something I really covet, but just leaving abruptly without a plan. Actually, I didn't even have a plan. Without a plan, just made me I just lost my sense of self. I felt like it just took a hit. Now I was just here and I could not describe who I am exactly. And that's normal. It's like grieving a part of me, and grief doesn't just move on because I want to. Grief is usually then goes, we say time heals. That's what has been happening to me. It has been 2 years of me healing and rebuilding, but this season I felt like I was coming again to hit a rock bottom, because now you understand, with entrepreneurship, this time you have work, sometimes you don't have work. With freelance teaching, this time you have classes, sometimes you don't have classes. So you can't just sit and determine, like, it's, you see how people say you live by faith, but you keep on, okay, not really faith, you keep on looking for clients, advertising your work, connections. When students go back to school, the freelance, you don't have now the freelance jobs as you do. And it can take you to some point. So also I jumped into many things. I was tutoring online, I do blogging for myself and also for clients. Lately I've been developing love for crocheting, but mainly I do crochet to clear my mind. I have some of the items I have been making, like I have some shawls. I want to start making some bags. Then I created a page on TikTok and Instagram. I think I'll advertise them and I might get clients. I hope I'll get clients. Also web designing, branding, and yet I have not been financially stable. I don't know if it's because I've not focused on one thing, but I've been trying and seeing what has been working. But sometimes you get to a point where you feel helpless, because sometimes you work and it's not really giving back the effort you're doing. So it makes it harder to believe that your actions will make a difference, even when they can. Because all these things I'm doing, they're skills which I can monetize. I can make things and sell and everything, like my tutoring skill, because I'm a teacher by blood. Not really by blood, like I've done it like it is into my system. Like that is something I do effortlessly, But finding ways to monetize all that has been challenging. Honestly, that's what I can say. Now, here are some strengths that I realized that I had. Like, I'm a very resilient person. Because right now I'm still tutoring. You call me, like I major on homeschooling gigs. So at least when you get a client from schooling, you can go up to 6 months with them. And even writing, even in my hardships, I keep on writing. I remember some days I wake up, I have articles to write and I have to literally push myself, like just fixing myself into a structured work or just scheduled routine has been a challenge for me. Also, I've realized I'm a very creative person because I crochet, I blog, I do branding and web design. There is a lot of creativity and I like breaking down very complex concepts, and that's why I really tutor physics and chemistry so well. And for me, that is one of my high value. But I realized something because of what I went through in my last station. Now, it's like I got some emotional trauma and I'm afraid. I see those advertisements for schools and I'm like, I cannot go back to structured work. Those people. So I enjoy freelancing and all that. And also I have a very good entrepreneur spirit. Like I like experimenting. Sometimes in my branding business, I just from the work that I do, I throw it into social media and I market. Sometimes you market, you don't get clients. Sometimes you get, and then you're wondering, am I just sinking my little capital into advertising and I'm not get client? But sometimes after you've advertised, like after a month, you'll see someone reach out and they give you work. So I have that entrepreneurial spirit. But sometimes you advertise until you have no more money to put into advertisements. But I honestly love my entrepreneurial spirit, and I know one day things will be okay. So I'm not broken. I'm very resourceful, but overwhelmed and emotionally fatigued sometimes. That's what I feel. How do I come back? In many ways. In my next video, I'll tell you about my practical or emotional strategies on how I cope, because I've not been badly off. I have been happy, joyful, bubbly, but the last 2 weeks have been like, You know, the people who you are supposed to pay money, they owe you and everything. Like, they give you too much pressure and you feel like you wanna burst. Yeah, that's why you start feeling like you're not doing enough. But I feel I got this, and God is with me, and I have some steps. So in my next video, I'm going to tell you guys the steps I'm taking towards having an emotional and mental reset and healing my traumas and everything. I'm anchoring myself in God, and I know I'll make it. Okay? Yeah, I'll make it. I wanted to leave you with some affirmations, but we'll do that another day. Yeah, but God bless you. Thank you for being here.